Hello everybody, welcome back. And if you're new, my name is Chris. Tonight's video is about addictive, intoxicating fragrances. You know those fragrances, when you spray them on yourself, you cannot stop smelling yourself. You catch yourself during the day just sniffing your wrist, sniffing your arm. You just want to keep smelling that scent. And since it's really cold outside today, these fragrances are my addictive, intoxicating cold weather fragrances. So if you're interested to see what I pulled for today's video, well, please keep watching. The first fragrance on the list, I don't believe I have ever talked about in a video, even though I have had it at least 6 or 7 months. I purchased this at the beginning of the summer and it just wasn't a fragrance I wanted to wear in the warm weather. To me, this is a strictly cold weather fragrance, and I got this on the advice of my good friend Charlie. She also goes by Phoenix. We did a little sample swap. She sent this to me and I fell in love right away, and it is called the Bewitching Yasmine or Yasmine by Penhaligon's. This is a gorgeously addictive, intoxicating, in my opinion, gourmand. It has these delicious notes. There is coffee, there's cardamom, there's oud, there's vanilla, and some incense. So this is definitely a sweet fragrance, and it heads into the gourmand direction, but it also has a touch of an evergreen. I think it's fir, and it has some jasmine in it, which keeps it kind of grounded, and it keeps it from getting too sweet. It just perfectly balances this fragrance. And the oud is noticeable, but it is a very easy or beginner oud. And this fragrance, even though it starts off sweet and a little bit fresh from the fir, it kind of just settles into a sweet, spicy, vanilla, incensey fragrance. It is gorgeous. And when I wear it, I cannot stop smelling my wrist when I spray it. It is not a powerhouse despite the heavy sounding notes, and I can get around 4 to 6 hours on this. Love it, and that's why this one is starting off the list. The next one up is fairly new in my collection. I think this was in my September pickups, but I absolutely love it. It is absolutely intoxicating and addicting to me, and when I wear it, I can't stop smelling my wrist or my clothes wherever I spray it. It is by Dior and Durga, and it is called Radio Bombay. I'm a huge fan of sandalwood, and this is a sandalwood that I am loving wearing right now. This, in my opinion, is cedarwood and sandalwood kind of done to perfection, done exactly the way I like it. It is very creamy because there is coconut in here, which I think gives it some really nice smooth creaminess. There is some sort of metallic note in here, which is very faint, but it is in the note profile. I think it's supposed to be copper. It just gives it, I don't know, these metallic notes just give these fragrances a little bit of texture. It has some musk in here, and it is very light and pleasant. I would guess that the musk is a botanical musk, an ambrette, because that's my favorite type of musk. This is gorgeous. I think another reason I catch myself kind of sniffing my wrists all day, it is quiet. This is a very quiet sandalwood fragrance. You are not going to overpower anybody. I do wear this. This is work safe because it is quiet, and I can get around 4 to 6 hours max off of this one, but not for everybody, but it is perfectly suited for me. I absolutely love this fragrance. This next one is a bomb of a fragrance. It is so delicious and intoxicating and addicting, and it is perfect for this time of the year. It is rosé all day. This thing is a bomb. 2-3 sprays, this will last you all day. And this is a gorgeous, spicy, dark fruit, dark rose or honey rose fragrance. It has plum, there is like a dark rose, a honeyed rose, brown sugar, tonka bean, and a stainless steel accord. Another one of these fragrances that has a metallic note or accord. It just it's really hard to describe. It just gives these fragrances a texture, some sort of a texture. But if you have ever smelled this, I think it's probably a love or a hate. I absolutely love this fragrance. I do know someone in my family does not like this fragrance at all and finds it a little too strong. But for me, intoxicating, addicting, this is perfect for these. It's very cold today. That's why I'm wearing a jacket. These cold months, especially cold holidays, absolutely perfect. It just makes me think of something you might bake during November and December that would just fill the house with this gorgeous aroma. Another great one by Gallagher Fragrances Rosé All Day. Next fragrance is a beautiful fragrance which is equal parts rose, spices, and woods, and it is my beloved Cairo by Penhaligon's. This fragrance makes me feel like $1,000,000. I feel like a princess when I wear this fragrance. And this fragrance is supposed to be based on a rose that has been just kind of soaking and macerating in these gorgeous spices and woodiness. It is absolutely a rose fragrance. If you don't like rose, this is probably not the fragrance for you, but this also has saffron, it has incense, and as it dries down, it really starts off as a spicy, woody rose, but as it starts to dry down, you get that incense, you get the patchouli, and you get the vanilla. And I don't know if it's with everybody, with me, it really becomes a lot sweeter in the dry down. Just a gorgeous, deep, rich, spicy, incensey, woody fragrance with this gorgeous dark rose running throughout it that just dries into this beautiful vanillic spicy fragrance. It just has a real nice vanillic sweetness in the dry down. Gorgeous. This is one of my fancy pants fragrances. If I ever want to get dressed up and go somewhere, this would definitely be on that list. The next one up is one of my favorite fragrances, and this was a fragrance that was recommended to me by a subscriber. Talk about a subscriber knowing a fragrance that I would absolutely fall head over heels for, and it is by Yves Saint Laurent, and this is the gorgeous Caftan. Absolutely love this fragrance. This is a beautiful, smoky, ambery, incensey, very resinous fragrance with a touch of sweetness. It has this really nice pink pepper or pepper opening with a little bit of tangerine, just a little bit of a citrus note. But this is a spicy, incensey, sweet, deep, resinous fragrance. This, I think, could be worn year-round, but in my opinion just absolutely shines, and I find this the most intoxicating and addicting right now when I want to feel warm, when I want to feel like a fragrance is a warm blanket. That's what this is, just intoxicating and gorgeous. And this has one of the heaviest, most beautiful, recognizable notes of benzoin in all my fragrances. I just adore this. And if you like the fragrances that I like, these sweet, spicy, incensey, woody fragrances, oh, this is a must try in my opinion. Next one up is addictive to me, but may not be for everybody. In fact, I know it's not, but I just love this fragrance, particularly this time of the year. It is a yummy, delicious, very interesting, nutty gourmand, and it is New Bond Street by Bond Number 9. This is, like I say, you're either gonna love this or you hate this. This is just so unique, and something about it just, I just keep coming back for more. It has a very peppery opening, but there is cacao, there is chestnut, it's very milky. There's sandalwood, there's patchouli, and the dry down has this kind of nice peppery spiciness to it, but this is really based on chestnut. This is a nutty chestnut fragrance with some milky warmth and spiciness and a little bit of kind of like this chocolatey goodness. My friend thinks that this smells a little bit like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and after she said that, I couldn't get that out of my mind. It does kind of remind me of that Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal with pepper and chocolate and a really big blast of nuttiness, like a chestnut or a hazelnut. Absolutely gorgeous. This one lasts on me basically all day. I can get this to last about 8 hours. I do tend to overspray because it's just such a delicious fragrance. Absolutely not blind buy safe. Like I said, nothing's blind buy safe, but this one is so interesting and unusual that you probably need to try this one first. Next one up made my top 10 designer fragrances for life, and I can assure you this would make my top 10 fragrances in general for life. Right now, I absolutely love this fragrance in many ways. This kind of represents me and what I want to smell like. I do have maybe a handful of fragrances that I would say represent me, but when it comes to a sheep fragrance, this one is basically a rose patchouli sheep fragrance done to perfection. And this is my beloved Gris Dior. This is just a gorgeous, oh my goodness, I just find this so intoxicating and addicting, and it doesn't matter that I've had it, I don't know, a year and a half. I just love it. This is a year-round fragrance. This is one of my easiest reaches, my easy pulls. I could wear this any day, at any time, wearing anything, doesn't matter what the weather is. I'm going to smell good, and I'm going to want to smell my wrist, smell myself all day. This is a crowd pleaser. This is a compliment getter because it's just so nice. And sheeps are hard to do because I think sometimes they can kind of fall into the dated category, or they can smell dated. This one does not. This one just, it's just perfectly, it is a modern take on a gorgeous sheep. Absolutely love it. Gorgeous. This one has great lasting power on me. Oh my gosh, it just puts me, it elevates my mood. This is a mood lifter. I smile and I stand with my shoulders back and just walk with confidence, knowing that I smell good. And no matter how my day is going, at least I smell darn good. So gorgeous, one of my all-time favorites, Gris Dior. The next one has gotten a lot of airtime by me in some past videos, so I'm gonna speed through it, but it made my list. When I wear this fragrance, I catch myself doing this and just smelling good basically all day. And it is my beloved Cuir Beluga in the new packaging here by Guerlain. This is, Cuir is leather or suede, I believe. Leather, no, it's leather. And Beluga is just a particular type of leather. I think it's soft and it's waterproof and very unique. This, to me, is equal parts suede and it's equal parts vanilla. That's what I get out of it. That's just to my nose, that's what I get. It starts off with a little bit of aldehydes and a little bit of a tangerine note, just a little bit of brightness, a little bit of freshness. Then it goes into this gorgeous light, if suede was a color, I actually think the note or the accord in here is a white suede, but it is a light, fluffy suede. It's gorgeous. And as it dries down, it has that beautiful Guerlain vanilla, powdery, light, soft, just perfectly comforting and yummy. Very recognizable Guerlain vanilla. This one is interesting in that even though it is soft, it's soft, it does not project, it lasts on me all day. Maybe like 6-8 hours, I can still get little whiffs of it when I really go in close. Absolutely gorgeous. And my SO loves this fragrance, thinks I smell really pretty. That's what he says. You smell really pretty, really nice. Just a gorgeous fragrance that I absolutely love and I find intoxicating and addicting, particularly in these cold days. Next one is one of my favorite musky sandalwood fragrances. This is another just very light, bright, uplifting fragrance. And even though it's really light and bright, I constantly find myself sniffing. Usually I wear this on a really cold day when there's not a cloud in the sky. It's just, and those are my happy days. And I like to wear kind of a soft sweater. And if I do spray fragrances on my clothes here in the Midwest, a lot of times in the winter, you know, I'm wearing a turtleneck up to here and I'm wearing something on my wrist up to here. So I do spray a lot on my clothes, and this is one that I spray on my clothes, a soft, puffy sweater. This is my gorgeous, my beloved Nothing But Sea and Sky by Nuit Nomade. This is a simple fragrance. This is nothing groundbreaking, but there's something so pleasing and easy on the nose. To me, it's just, I mean, 3 notes are listed. There's bergamot, there's Australian sandalwood, which is a fresher type of sandalwood, and there is musk. It's probably just a white musk, it's a synthetic musk, or it's a botanical musk, but a very clean, bright musk. And once that bergamot burns off, it's basically a very fresh sandalwood musk fragrance. This I can get at least 4 to 6 hours on, but something that is just so clean and bright and refreshing and just very comforting. And I think that's why it's so clean and refreshing and comforting. I find myself just sniffing my wrists or trying to catch little whiffs of my fragrance all day long. And so it's light, airy, and clean, and a perfect fragrance to wear year-round, in my opinion. This might possibly make my top 10 fragrance list just because it's so easy and appealing. It's just something that I don't think I could ever get annoyed by. Gorgeous fragrance. Yes, yes, yes. This fragrance has made so many of my videos because it's one of my favorite fragrances of all time. Definitely a top 10. It's in many ways me in a bottle. One of the few masterpieces I own, and that is my beloved L'air du Desert Marocain by Andy Tower. A fragrance is good when you have it for, let's see, how long have I had this fragrance? I've had this at least 7 years, probably. And when I wear it, I can't stop smelling myself. Literally, there isn't a time that I don't wear this where I don't catch myself just kind of sniffing my wrist, trying to get a whiff of my fragrance pretty much throughout the day. It just is gorgeous, and it lifts my spirits because it just is so pretty and appealing to me. It's spicy. There's a little bit of incense. It says this gorgeous sandalwood and this perfect amber that basically kind of rounds out this wonderful fragrance that I do not see me ever living without. Next one up, I do not think has made it in any of my videos, but it is a gorgeous fragrance, one of the prettiest bottles I own. And when I wear it, it's absolutely intoxicating and addicting. I cannot get enough of this. And this is the beautiful Lamar by Kajal. I mean, look at that bottle. Gorgeous, gorgeous bottle. Love it. And this one made the list over Dahab because I think this one is just a better fragrance, or it's more suited for the cold. Even though this is a fruity floral, this is, in my opinion, kind of a fruity floral with some heft. I know that, it's famous for its pineapple note. Listen, this family, this household has pineapple in the refrigerator pretty much all year. I have a very picky eater, and I am always making sure that my kids eat like a fruit or a vegetable at every meal. And pineapple is one of the very few fruits that I can get my son to eat without fail. So we always have pineapple in the house. Now, this is not a pineapple that you take and you cut it. I've cut probably, 200 pineapples minimum, in the past several years. This is a pineapple, in my opinion, this is a complex pineapple fragrance. There's nothing simple about this. This is like you take a pineapple and you cut it, and then you grill it. Have you ever grilled a pineapple? It changes a little bit. It gets a little bit sweeter and a little bit deeper. Once it kind of caramelizes, that sugar caramelizes, it becomes heavier, it becomes a little bit sweeter, it becomes a little bit more syrupy. but this also definitely has, you know, some sort of, I think there's red berries in here, but this is not a pineapple alone. This is a pineapple plus. This is just this pineapple that you have grilled, and now it's thicker, it's a little bit sweeter, it's a little bit more syrupy. You kind of mix that, or you grind that in with some red berries. My nose is very sensitive to white flowers, particularly jasmine. I smell jasmine in here. It is slightly heady, but fortunately it's not indolic, and I think it just gives the fragrance some depth, a little bit of florally depth. Maybe like a half an hour into the fragrance, I can pick up some rose, and then in the dry down, it gets sweeter. I get a little bit of vanilla, I get a little bit of musk, and it becomes woodier. I think the wood in here is cedar. It's definitely not oud. Well, it might be, but it doesn't smell like oud. It smells more like a fresh wood. I would think cedar. But this is just a really beautiful, fruity floral, a woody, fruity floral that is just gorgeously intoxicating, especially in these colder months. And it has really good longevity. Like when I wear this, especially in the cold, I can get, you know, a solid 4 to 6, at least half day, over a half day on this one. Gorgeous, love it. And the bottle is just about the prettiest bottle I own. So yep, I'm gonna do this last one, and then I have some runners up, shall we say, not because they're not addictive and intoxicating, it's just because I have spoken about them in the past 3 videos, so I don't want to be too redundant, but they had to make the list because they are super intoxicating. So the last fragrance I absolutely love, and I don't know why I don't talk about it very much, but it's one of the prettiest sandalwood fragrances in my collection. I think it's underrated because it's a quiet fragrance, but it is absolutely intoxicating and addicting because it's so pleasant, and I think it's quiet. It's a soft fragrance, and I think that's one of the reasons why I just find myself sniffing my wrist, going in to smell, to want to get wafts of this fragrance. It also, because it's very soothing. It is a soothing fragrance, and it is my Sandalwood Temple by Sana Jardin. This is a light, creamy, smooth, buttery, fairly simple sandalwood. Like I said, it's very quiet. It just, in my opinion, has this beautiful, clean, I believe it's Australian sandalwood. If you ever want to know what Australian sandalwood smells like, it's easier to get than Mysore sandalwood. But you can just get a really nice vial of an essential oil. Don't get a cheap one from Amazon, because I can assure you, if you get cheap essential oils from Amazon, they won't smell like anything. If you want to know what a flower or a resin or a wood good essential oil smells like, you have to buy one from a good source. But this is, in my opinion, Australian sandalwood, which tends to be cleaner and lighter. But this is a gorgeous sandalwood, a clean, light sandalwood that does have a little bit of a fresh opening. I believe there's bergamot. There are some florals in here. This is not a florally fragrance at all. The florals in here, which I don't know what they are, whatever they are, they're very light. I would guess that they are, you know, like maybe an orange blossom, just very light and bright. But this just drives into a gorgeous, buttery, sweet, smooth, light sandalwood that is just gorgeous. If you like a powerhouse, this is not the fragrance for you. And because of it, I can wear this lots of different places. I can wear this to work. I can wear this anywhere, and I absolutely love it. It's quiet, doesn't last forever, but it's just one of those fragrances that I find it's intoxicatingly quiet, if that makes sense. So I'm going to end the list with my beautiful Sandalwood Temple. I have more intoxicating, addicting fragrances, and maybe I'll put those in my winter lineup, which I will be doing in the next couple weeks. But my runners-up, shall we say, they would easily make my top addictive fragrances, but I talk about them all the time. Honey Oud, gorgeous, sweet, warm, spicy, woody, ambery vanilla for cinnamon lovers. If you don't like cinnamon, this is probably not going to be your cup of tea. Powerhouse, gorgeous, gorgeous. My Honey Oud, loving that one. My next one I talk about, it's one of my favorite gourmands. I love it. I don't know. Maybe it's too quiet for some people. I absolutely love it. There's something so appealing to me, and this is my Al Contrario by Tiziana Terenzi. This one smells like a vanilla pudding meets a tiramisu cheesecake. You combine those two, that's what this smells like. Oh my gosh, I can't take it. It's so gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. The only thing is it's quiet, doesn't last forever. And the last one to make my intoxicating, addicting fragrances is one of my most beautiful fragrances. I love this. This is a stunning, gorgeous vanilla. My Ruby in Vanilla Intense by EBK. I have 2 other bottles in their collection on my want list. Golly jeepers, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance, rounding out the runners-up with Ruby in Vanilla Intense. So that is it. I tried to kind of speed through those so the video wouldn't be too long. I would love to hear what your intoxicating and addicting fragrances are. Thank you again for sticking around. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.